Welcome back to Inside the Idaho Vandals with Coach Paul Patrino. I'm Dennis Patchen. Back at home, that's got to make you happy.
Yeah, that'll be nice. We played pretty well last time we were here. It always helps, especially when you're playing a lot of young guys. You know, we started a couple new young guys on defense last week, and it's kind of like they always say in the NBA, the rookies play way better at home. And I think that's big time in college football. I remember when we were at Louisville, Michael Bush was our starting tailback, and he kind of struggled his freshman year on the road, but every game at home he had over 100 yards, you know. Richard played real well last time we were here at home. Desmond Banks is now starting at corner. We got fresh, you know, Chad's a freshman. Dion, there's freshmen all over the place starting. And I just think it's more, they're more confident at home. They got the fans behind them. So I expect us to come out and play real well.
You talked to your guys this week about how well they played at home the last time in hoping that you get that again?
No question. You know, brought it up already last night. And I think that's something that they'll have more confidence coming into it, knowing that. And just got to be ready to go and come out here and have great spirit and a great passion, and everybody play with, you know, with 100% effort.
We talked about the crowd last time, how good they were here at home for you. It's homecoming this week, so I would expect the crowd to have even a better effort this time around.
Yeah, and that's nothing but 100% behind us, and it helps us and it makes guys all play better. So I'm excited to see that.
What does Temple do? What problems could they cause you here on Saturday?
You know, we played Temple twice when I was at Louisville, and they're just kind of a bunch of big, tough Philly kids. You know, they're big and physical. Their D-line is very physical and big, and so that's something we got to take care of. Usually their offensive line is very physical. You know, they're going to run the power play, the quarterback power. Defensively, definitely their strength is their front four. And so one thing about Temple, every time you played them, that you knew you were in a tough game. They're going to hit and they're going to be physical, and so that's what I know about them from when I played them in the past, and
right.
Watching them on tape, they look like the same type of team.
Now it's two teams still looking for their first victory here. When you got a team that's still looking for the first win, what's the most important thing in this football game? Is it turnovers or is it something else?
Well, I think turnovers always plays a huge key. Temple would have won 2 of their games if they could make a field goal. You know, that's really what cost them their last 2 games. They missed a couple field goals in each game. So special teams is always a big key. I think if we can win the special teams battle, that'll be big. And then execution, you know, and execution in the fourth quarter when it matters, you know, and I think whatever team executes, I think it'll be a tight game. I think it'll come down to the wire, and the team that executes the best in the fourth quarter will win the game.
I want to ask something because we're at week 5 in the football season. While you're getting a team ready to go, you're also out recruiting, and we don't want to get into the specifics of any of that. But how hard is that for a coaching staff when the season's going on to focus on a game preparation at the same time, keeping guys, recruiting guys, bringing guys on campus, visits, those kind of things during the season?
You know, that's just kind of what you do. That's what you do your whole life as an assistant coach. I think by what level you're at in football, the recruiting is a little bit different. You know, I think the higher, you know, if you're in the SEC or the Big Ten, then you get a lot more commitments early. You get a lot more guys committed younger and earlier. I think, you know, at our level that we're at right now, you're on everybody, you're fighting for everybody, and some of those guys are hoping to go to the Pac-12, and then some of them aren't going to have that opportunity. And then you got to do a great job of evaluating and finding that guy that is good enough to play in the Pac-12 but's not getting recruited, and we get him to come here. So, you know, ours is probably the biggest thing in recruiting here is evaluation. We got to find the guys, the Desmond Epps, you know, the guys that there's no doubt he could play that level, but nobody went on him, and we found him and got him to come here. You know, the Richard Montgomerys, those type of guys, and those are the guys that we're looking hard for right now. You got to make your recruiting calls. You know, we make them on Sunday nights, we take a time on Wednesday nights, and then Thursday night, you know, the families kind of get, because that is family night. That's the one night everybody gets to go home after practice, but you got to make recruiting calls on Thursday nights too. And then when you have games, night games on Saturdays, you make a lot of those calls during the day on Saturday. So just kind of an ongoing process. You're always, you know, Facebooking with them, finding any way to communicate with them, and then you're always evaluating the tape.
The other thing is as the process goes along, you talked about identifying guys, and you know the measurables. We know, you know, you're trying to get the fastest, strongest, biggest guys. But is there another thing that you look for in an athlete when you recruit him, other than the obvious?
Yeah, I think you gotta let them know what the program's about and that they're a fit. You know, that this program's going to be made of hard work, of grinding, and I tell them that, and I tell them right up front, this is what the program's all about, and if they are fit and they want to do that, a lot of times the parents love to hear that. Some players don't, and if they don't want to hear that, then they won't be a fit here. So then they don't need to come play here. So we want to make sure, probably number one, that we're trying to find is speed, over size. We're trying to find as many fast guys as we can, guys that, fast guys on defense, fast guys on offense, and get as much speed we can, but then probably as big a thing as their character and are they willing to grind and work hard.
Is it almost a little bit of you're looking for a little bit of a throwback player?
No, not necessarily. There's a lot of kids out there that'll work hard. You just, they just got to know what it's all about. Come in here, experience it. And most kids like discipline. You just got to give it to them, and they understand that's going to make them better, and that's going to give them the best chance to graduate and the best chance to be the best player they can be.
Sometimes, though, guys say they like to work hard, but have never had to work hard because their talent has gotten them to a point. Is that part of the process in what you're doing this season, is teaching guys how to work hard?
I think that's part of it. I think that's a big part of it. Then a big part when you're in the recruiting process that we were talking about a second ago is you go to the good programs. They have worked hard. They know how to work hard. They know how to win, and they've been successful doing that, so it's no different to them.
All right, well, good luck on Saturday against Temple. Hopefully we're talking next week about the first win of the year.
I got it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That is Paul Patrino, head coach. We'll continue with more of Inside the Idaho Vandals. Volleyball had an interesting week. Soccer got their first win, and we take you outside for this week's Campus Connection. All when Inside the Idaho Vandals continues.